Right now, it's the official challenges video because here's the thing. I might could tell you something. Now, you might could learn something, but sometimes you may not take action until you get those challenges. When you see something practical, you're like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna try this. This shit is gonna be something that I'm actually gonna do because it's written on paper and it's solid. So this right here is a list of challenges that I'm challenging you to try. You, the viewer, to try. When you're out and about, living life, breathing oxygen like every other human on this planet, and you see those beautiful women walk by and you don't fucking do shit like every other dude walking by, this is for you, man. First and foremost, me and Juice actually put this shit together. So first and foremost, keep your phone away when you walk places. Don't wear headphones all the time. If you take public transit, practice not using your phone. Practice not having something to save you all the time, stimulation wise. Make it harder for yourself to not look around and take things in or not interact with people and acknowledge people. This is gonna be a tough challenge, especially for this generation. You grew up with a phone, constantly looking. You grow up with earphones. That shit is like a safety net, especially in a place like New York City where it's like there's so many people. Sometimes you're just like, fuck it, and you put them earphones on. But then there's situations where you have those earphones on, maybe a chick goes, oh, I like your thing, or whatever the case is, and you're just like, oh, thanks. Because that's all you can fucking do. You're not ready. You're not present in that moment. The moment you can be present, the moment you can walk outside, you say hi to that old person on your floor, you say hi to your neighbor, you say hi to your mailman, next thing you know, you're really present. You walk into the train, you walk into a situation, and you actually feel good because you already been talking to people. When you go outside, I'm telling you, I know it because I suffered through it too as well. Like, there's plenty of times where I go outside and I'm just on my, I'm writing notes on Trello. But sometimes I feel kind of autistic because I just go straight out the house, my earphones in. Now, I'm not too bothered by it because I don't have this need to fulfill that void, but at the same time, I do feel autistic sometimes, and I see how it has that effect, especially if you've been in the house for like 2 weeks, you step outside with your earphones in, it's like you're not even ready to speak. The moment you speak, you're like coughing over your words. You're just not present in the moment. And by taking that opportunity to give yourself the opportunity to be open for other opportunities, you immediately open yourself up for other opportunities. Official Unleashed Challenge number 2. Challenge yourself to be more honest and more vulnerable. Let me emphasize this, more honest and more vulnerable. You ever seen Rugrats, bitch? I don't wonder why we wrote. Okay, I get why we wrote that. Basically, the point is your childhood. Your childhood cartoons are an example of something that shows a lot of honesty and that can immediately like break open a conversation with a girl. Like, you say you're just talking to a girl and you're just random like, yo, you ever seen Rugrats growing up? Something like that. Now suddenly she's like, yeah, I grew up and yeah, I like Rocco's Modern Life and I like Arnold, or whatever the case is from that generation. That shit right there can only happen when you're very, very honest. When you walk into a situation like, I gotta say the right thing, I gotta do the right fucking thing, or I gotta say the right thing, challenge yourself to be more honest. This doesn't just mean in conversation. You walk outside, you see a girl with crazy hair or super nice hair, guess what? If you think in your head, no, I like your hair, that shit is dope, that shit is fly. Say it. Say, hey, I like your hair, that shit is dope, that shit is fly. Start being more honest, then be transparent. The moment you think some shit, say it. And I'm not saying don't have any filter at all, but if you think something positive about somebody, let them know it because it's just gonna make their day. Be more honest and also be more vulnerable. Stop hiding. Guess what? You grew up with two parents that fucking divorced or they were alcoholics. Let her know that. Let her know. It gives you depth. We're all made up of yin and yang, sun and darkness, light and darkness, negative and positive. By always showing that positive side, you basically essentially restrict her from showing her dark side. And therefore, you're never gonna have that fully plus negative minus attraction that pulls magnets together, that creates the fundamental law of attraction. When you can relate to a girl on not only her hobbies, her passions, her future dreams, the positive shit like that, and sexuality, but also the tragedies, the introspective things, the struggles in life. When you can relate on that shit, when it's like, oh shit, my parents were alcoholics too, man. They fought all the fucking time. And now suddenly it's like you have something in common. You, by being honest, next thing you know, I guarantee you, when you start to make this more of a habit, when you start to embrace this fucking challenge, you're gonna get girls. I guarantee you, if you do this shit right, you will get girls saying things like, wow, I never talked to a guy like this before. When you start hearing words like that on a date, then you know, oh shit, Jin is right. That's exactly what he said was gonna happen, and I know because I'm talking from experience. When you start to be more honest, when you start to be more vulnerable, because here's the thing, you walk into a goddamn motherfucking room and everybody has their social mask. That's just what it is. No one wants to reveal the negative sides because they don't want to be judged. By being that person who steps forward to first be honest and first be judged by everyone, guess what? You're gonna take all the fire, but then you're gonna take all the credit too. And there's gonna be people in the background wishing that they had done it first. But you rose up and you stepped up to the opportunity, you stepped up to the occasion, ultimately you made it happen. And by doing that shit, you make every other girl in the room more comfortable to reveal their true selves. And you just take it one step closer to making them fall in love with you. And that's just a fact. Jack. Official Unleashed challenge number 3. Now this isn't gonna get you any girls falling in love with you, but it's just a little bonus chance to just kind of challenge you to be more descriptive with your language. This is something I'm trying to do for myself because it's just a big time American thing, I'm gonna be honest, which is saying like. Remove like from your vocabulary or try to say it a little less. Speak in full sentences. Look, man, you don't have to do this because a lot of chicks say like a lot and you can use that to build rapport. Like, yeah, like totally. Like I felt that way too. The only reason I'm just challenging you this is because it's just in America, we just say like too goddamn much. Whether you're in the hood, like in the hood, see what I'm just saying? In the hood in New York, everyone's like, yo, dead ass, like, bro, like I told her, like, damn. And then you go to the suburbs, and I don't even need to do the suburb white chick voice because we all know what that shit sounds like. But I'm just saying, when you say like, it's kind of like an unconscious seeking of rapport. It's not a big deal to say it or whatever because everyone fucking says it. But I'm just challenging you as an Unleashed viewer to just say it a little less because it'll make you talk a little bit more definitively. It'll make you talk a little bit more just in full sentences, and it'll challenge you to start to be a little more descriptive with your words. You'll sound more matter of fact when you speak rather than, I feel as though like blah 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 blah, and yeah, like I told, yeah, totally, like, you know what I mean? When you start to speak more, like I think in that situation you should blah 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 blah. Like you just talk, it'll challenge you to just speak in a different way. And another thing is too, it just kind of will unconsciously set you apart, because if you speak in a way that is different from everyone else, it just kind of unconsciously sets you apart. And for me, it's just a sign that I'm just trying to also do. This is my Unleashed challenge too. I'm trying to say like a little less, because when I listen to the podcast, the Jitter Juice podcast, available everywhere, SoundCloud, Spotify, download that shit. But when I speak on the podcast and I hear myself say like 3 times in a fucking sentence, it kills me. I just want to take a power drill and put that shit into my fucking head or some shit, my larynx. Like, I hate that shit. Maybe it's just me, but as someone who's trying to get into more public speaking and whatever the case is, I'm trying to eliminate like. So maybe this is just a little bit of personal bias for me, but just try it, man. Challenge yourself to be more descriptive with your language and to stop using such sentence breaking language and instead speaking full sentences. All right, Unleashed challenge number 4. Compliment chicks on things other than looks. When you do it too, slow down your sentences a little, enunciate and use better descriptive language. For example, you stop a girl in the middle of the street, get used to stopping a woman in the middle of the street and being calm about it. When you can be calm about it and then you train yourself over and over to be calm, because most people it's like, oh, hey, I like your bag. Oh, yeah, that's cute. No, thanks. Yeah, I gotta go. Everyone does that fast small talk. Avoid the fast small talk. Be in your zone. Be like, excuse me, I know this is really random, but you actually have a really nice bag. It kind of reminds me of this old bag my aunt used to have back in the day. It kind of made me nostalgic for some reason, so I had to point it out. When you speak, see, not only did I just combine this step, but I also combined it with the honesty step, because maybe that's true. Maybe what I just said was true, but most people wouldn't even think to say that. They would just be like, well, what the fuck? This person doesn't give a fuck about my aunt or nostalgic. And that's not true. By saying some shit like that, they're gonna be like, oh wow, that's interesting, blah, blah, blah. You immediately open the conversation up for more deeper conversations, and by calming the vibe down, it instantly gives her more of a friend vibe. She's gonna start, you'll notice women begin to say things to you like, it feels as if when I speak to you, it just feels like we've been friends for longer than what we know. Like, I've known you for longer than I have. Like, I don't normally speak to someone and feel comfortable, or it's an energy thing. When you talk to them calm, because if you talk to your friend, You're not gonna be like, hey man, you're just gonna be like, yo, what the fuck is good? You're gonna talk with a more natural kind of, by slowing down and just enunciating and focusing on having good eye contact, good voice tonality to get her to stop, and whatever that shit means a lot. Not only that, but not just complimenting her on her looks, but trying to use more descriptive language that appeal to something. Like I said this in a past video, basically how you can try to challenge yourself to use more descriptive language that brings about emotion. Like when I stopped women on the street, I often, because I've been in the fucking lab on this channel, so I'm a little rusty, but I know for a fact that all I need is 20 minutes of making an ass of myself and I'm gonna be on point. Because what starts to happen is I start to feel like my old self again. And my old self was a fucking animal. I'm still an animal, right? Don't get it twisted. But I'm just saying, when I walked up to a woman, a lot of that, I would see videos of dudes like, hey, I thought you were cute. And I kind of looked at that and I was like, all right, I'll try that. And I had some success with it, but it was not my style. I wanted to push it. I wanted to, like, I like separating myself. Maybe it's the fact that I always grew up in a neighborhood where no one looked like me, but I instantly like separating. A lot of dudes will see a video like, hey, I thought you were cute, had said, like, oh, that's cool. I like how casual it is, I'll do it. I actually like stepping it up. I like saying something to a girl where she looks at me like, oh, who the fuck is this guy? By talking, say, imagine you stop a girl. I used to just be like, excuse me, I know this is really random, but I noticed you walking by and I thought you looked incredibly stunning. I had to say hi, otherwise I'd be kicking myself for the rest of the day. Now imagine instead of saying the looks or whatever the case is, but the fact that I use descriptive language in itself, it separates myself. But imagine you said something like, I noticed you walking by and I thought your aura looked absolutely captivating. Something like that. Who talks like that? Nobody. Now you may be thinking to yourself, well, exactly, who talks like that? Nobody. So why should I talk like that? That's exactly why. Because think about what you just thought to yourself right now. If you did happen to think that, that is a follower mindset. Oh, everyone else is doing it, so now it's cool. By taking that opportunity to step outside and just separate yourself from everyone else, using your language, using the ability to challenge yourself to compliment a woman on something deeper, you'll notice that the conversations go deeper. If you go, hey, I thought it was cute, it's like, okay, yeah, thanks, it is kind of cute. It's like, there's nothing fucking there that's deeper, that's more passionate, that's more emotional. By talking more to her energy, more to her passions, by complimenting, by challenging yourself to compliment women on shit that's deeper than just their looks, you're gonna notice their faces change. And not only that, but when you do it, focus, being calm, and eventually you start to train yourself to, what you're doing is essentially you're training yourself to approach women. You're just not going all the way with it yet, but you're still giving yourself the conditioning of, excuse me, deep voice, I noticed you walking by, I thought you looked really stunning. Like you're ebbing and flowing, you're calming the vibe down, and ultimately you're getting used to stopping a woman on the street and just immediately going into something that brings about her emotions, her interests, and opposed to just little small talk conversations, man. Because that shit is lame as fuck, man. It's lame as shit, man. Like, I get it. It's a cute little YouTube video. You get the cute little number, but guess what? Those 2-minute numbers, they're flakes. I'm telling you, a lot of dudes don't know because they watch the videos and they don't actually fucking do this shit. But when you actually go out there and you get those cute little 2-minute numbers, I'm telling you, 99% of the time, they're fucking flakes. You have to start challenging yourself to push for deeper interactions, more solid interactions, where at the end of the day, you make her fall in love with you, regardless. Last one, baby. Maintain eye contact with bad chicks. I actually think this was the first one. In 2019, most dudes will avoid eye contact and stare at the floor or their phone. I've made it a habit of just sheer willpower, maintaining eye contact and giving a smile and head nod. Girls most of the time don't even know what the fuck to do. Shit is hilarious. This is actually something Juice wrote. It's just funny as shit. He's basically saying, like, lately, every time he goes on the train, if he ever catches eye contact with a girl, he'll just smile and nod. He basically, what makes it great is he compared it to how you would say what up to like some random dude on the block, like, yo, what up? Like, just what up? Like that little head nod. So you don't even know a girl, you see her, you catch eye contact, you just smile, you go, hey. Like, that's it. You do that, you start doing that shit, and now suddenly, oh shit, you start to challenge yourself to, you bathe in tension. Most people, they bump into somebody, oh, I'm sorry, or they look into someone, they look down. By just looking at someone, just be like, hey, like, just acknowledge, not even so much I'm trying to start a conversation, but just I'm acknowledging your presence. I acknowledge your presence as a human that we call eye contact, and I'm just like, hey, what up? Like, just a simple head nod, like you do to your bro. And in that moment, Juice basically says how chicks, they almost can't even handle it. They're so not used to it. They'll just be like, yeah, and do all this type of shit. And I feel like in a way that will start to open you up to realize that, yo, everyone else is just as scared as you are. And by taking that moment to just be like, hey, yeah, what's up? Just really casual. Now suddenly you realize, oh shit, everyone is so much more vulnerable than even me. Because now by that time you're probably fucking used to it. You're like, oh, it's not a big deal. You walk in, and that's also just something like in New York City, no one says hi because there's so many fucking people, right? But when I go to other smaller states, when I go out to Georgia to see my mom and shit, like people say hi to each other, and I always compliment like, oh man, I'm not used to everyone saying hi, and they'll look at me like I have 3 heads, like, for real? Are you serious? But that is a great habit to have. When you look at someone, you catch eye contact, you're just like, what up? You're like, what's good? That's what I like. For example, if I ever went to a chick in the Hoods building and she lived in a bad block, I'm telling you right now, when I walk by motherfuckers, I'm just like, yo, what up? Because I know how I look. I know motherfuckers might be thinking, is he a cop? Is he a DT? Which means detective. Is he a DT? So I'm just like, yo, what up? And I'm just like, and I just walk by. I just give them that acknowledgement. I give them that respect. And ultimately that right there is a great fucking challenge. These are 5 great challenges that I want you to start doing. You know what? I'm going to make a bonus challenge right here, right on the spot. I challenge you to start asking about deeper things or trying to go for more solid connections. If you stop a woman on the street, try not to go for that 2-minute number close. I know it's tempting. You want to have the full interaction. You don't worry about the hackiness of like, how can I, the best way to answer the asker, because if you build a more solid connection, all that shit is just a logistical afterthoughts. That's it. By focusing on trying to build a solid connection, try to go deeper into her hobbies, her passions, her childhood, her family, her future ambitions, her dreams, introspective topics like what would you do if you had all the money in the world or you had no fear of money? What would you do right now? Like, where would you travel, whatever the case is? Sexuality, tragedies, and struggles. These 10 topics, these are the topics that make us up as humans. Our childhood, our cartoon, our family, our interests, our hobbies, our passions. By going more deeply into those things rather than the small talk and trying to focus on building that solid connection as opposed to just going for the little cute number close, that shit right there, you're gonna start to see the difference in the interactions, and you're gonna start to see girls not flake out nearly as much. That was my biggest lesson, because I had early on, when I would go up to girls on the street, I would actually have a lot of success on the attraction end. I would be flirting with girls. I even made out with chicks on the street only to never hear from them again because I did not go deep enough. I stayed in that flirty fun zone where you're getting you're getting all those dopamine spikes and the laughs and the giggles, but you're not focusing on the things that really matter. You're not focusing on your vulnerabilities or your tragedies or your deepest family stories or the things that are really gonna connect you, because at the end of the day, the thing that's gonna separate you from her friends, her family, everyone else in her life, 99.9% of the people in life, is that she can speak to you about the things that she cannot talk to her family. She can't talk to her family about her deepest sexuality interests. She can't talk to her friends about her deepest sexuality interests, her tragedies, or whatever the case is. She can't talk to her coworkers about maybe her childhood or her fucking parents who used to fight all the time. But by being able to speak to you about all those things, her sexual interests, her parents, the struggles, everything that makes her up as a person, you now become her other half. She now becomes inseparable from you, and you separate yourself from every other dude out there. That's ultimately the Unleashed Challenge video for this week, man. I wanted to do something creative with this video because hopefully you don't just listen to this shit, but you actually take it in here, you write this shit down, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna challenge myself to do 1 of these or 2 of these or all 5 of these, because at the end of the day, these things that we came up with to put you on your spot, man, put you on your game. And with that being said, bro, I will see you on the next episode. Leave comments below if you have any questions or you got something, a challenge that you think is dope as fuck, and we would love to feature that shit. We'll shout you out. So with that being said, bro, see you on the other side.